So, question number 5 for question and answer day comes from VarmitCoyote, a guy that kind of justified our reason for having the blog TV over Christmas, where we were all kind of holding it in case somebody was lonely on Christmas, and we kind of tried to pass it on to other people. And I left Brian holding the bag for a while, but VarmitCoyote was a host for that call for a while, and his feelings that he expressed actually, they kind of they made me feel like we were doing something right. Sorry, I had to close the door. So, his first question for me, and he had a few, is: do you think really abstract art, like just splattered paint, can be truly brilliant? Many ways to tackle that question. The first brilliant use of splattered paint that I saw was, as a kid, I bought a Bloom County book, and Berkeley Breathed, the author, had a foreword in that book where he had a couple of his other pieces of art that weren't about Bloom County. And one of them was an astronaut where it was a spacesuit, and it was like there was a crack in the dome of the helmet, the glass dome, and so it had exploded. And he put red paint in his mouth and used a straw and kind of splattered the paint, like, and he made something that I thought was visually brilliant with splattered paint. Of course, it started with form, with the spacesuit, but it had red splatters everywhere. So yeah, that made something really brilliant. But I do think that there are other artists, such as, say, Jackson Pollock, who kind of thrive on a cult of personality, really. I really don't value his work as much. I went on a sort of date with my lovely Dame 21 to the Chicago Art Institute Museum, and there was an entire wing dedicated to people who don't deserve the notoriety that they have, because their art is crap. It's just fucking crap. The entire wing full of crap that, my niece, who's 6, brings me home better artwork for free from school, just brings it to me. I would rather see her turkey made with little cutout paper hands than see a Jackson Pollock painting. So there is a level to which some people ascribe some brilliance to very mundane art, I think. That being said, I do find some performance art and kind of, I don't know how you would describe some of these new artists that are out, like Banksy. I really like these things where they create a public spectacle around a moment, and they leave their piece of art out there for people to see, and once it's removed, people have pictures and they have, video of them with it, maybe, or they just, the news footage of it exists, but the art is kind of temporal. So I think that's brilliant. What they're doing now, it's pushing the edge of what art can be. So yeah, but Jackson Pollock, Varmint Coyote also wants to know, when something upsets me, how do I usually react? I'm normally a very mellow guy, and I either measure how much anger I'm going to give something, or I sometimes just try to put on a good face for the moment and then strike later in a very Machiavellian fashion when they're not looking. Let's see. He also wants to know, would or will you teach your children to believe in Santa? I don't think I'm going to have a choice in that matter. I think just growing up in the culture that we live in, they're going to hear about Santa, and children for a while will believe anything. But more importantly, I'm going to teach any children that I'm around how to not believe in Santa. And I would hope that I wouldn't have to come out directly and say, no, Santa Claus does not exist. I would hope that I would have given them the tools so that that moment would never be necessary. And same goes for the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Flying Spaghetti Monster. Okay, next question. Are some human lives worth more than others? Strange answer to that question is yes. And for me, personally, I find that the reason why I answer yes to that a lot is because I value the people that are alive more than the people who died. For instance, if a whole bunch of people died in order to give us a form of government, and we don't want that form of government anymore, or we want a slight variation on it, and we're the ones living, I don't feel like we should be beholden to the people that died. You know, we don't owe them how we're supposed to live our lives. So, in this case, I would choose the living people as having more of a say in how they're going to run their own lives, rather than the people who have died for it to be lived some other way. So, yeah. Also, I feel like although people are born with very similar potentials, if not identical, they're very similar to the point where it's negligible. I feel like some people do educate themselves and do more for the world, and that does have its place in being recognized. It's just for some people it's a daily thing that they have to do. They need to check how much they recognize those things. Okay, and lastly, Varmint Coyote made a statement about maybe this exercise isn't going to help me get my 15-minute cap removed. It's not going to help, and I should go look for the link to, yeah, they're not giving me the link. That's the problem. I need to get to that point where they offer me that link. I just clicked that link for the Occupy Colorado channel last night and did all the verification. Now Occupy Colorado has the whole 1 hour or 2 hour, whatever, unlimited videos, and I'm still stuck with 15 minutes on my main channel. My AOD archive channel has the 15-minute limit removed, but it also has every video that I ever had a content ID match on the same channel, all at the same time, and so it's kind of frustrating for me to see the iniquity there. So, on to the next one.